with Coleman the second.
Sure.
Kincaid third, but that dude sucks. All right, so we are gonna go to Ryan's. I'm gonna nap during this game. Monday night doubleheader. I heard people complain about the Monday night doubleheader, and all I could think is you're upset that you got a chance to watch a different game after that awful Jags Bills
Yeah,
game.
right.
What the fuck?
Yeah. How are you upset? Two games on a primetime night. Granted, you gotta do the what's the YouTube TV
Yeah,
double
split
screen
screen.
thing because they're
Yeah,
on double screen thing. But honestly, I won't be doing that for this game because this game's gonna be horrible. Skylar Thompson's not playing, so that means it's gonna be Tyler Huntley or Tim Boyle.
it's Tyler Huntley. They
Um,
just announced it. Also,
oh, they did.
yeah. Jeff? I want to know what that parlay that you could make if you could. What that would be. So, anyways, Ryan, sorry, Snoop. You got Snoop Huntley, quarterback.
Right. Honestly, and both teams are 0-3 against the spread this season, and unders are 3-0 in Dolphins games. So this is not going to be a fun game to watch. Uh, I have nothing in this game.
I really, really hope for my best ball team's sake that what we saw from D Hop last week is what we continue with. Um, he had a 20.6% target share. He looked really good. They decided to prioritize him over Calvin Ridley, which they should because he's the better football player. Um, if you are a fan of hilarity, Will Levis is projected the defense adjusted most pressure this week. So chaos reigns.
Okay.
So you might see a couple picks. You might see some baddie shit. Does Will Levis have a multi-interception betting line? Is the real question. Because this could be a
Oh yeah, that's true.
interception game. Um, Look at these odds. Jesus Christ. You can only get minus 130 for a Will Levis over 0.5 interceptions. It's still
Oh,
worth
that's
putting
funny.
money on. I mean, he's going to throw a pick. It
Yeah,
is what it is.
$10 to win like $8, right?
Yeah, he could do worse. All right, let's move on. This game's garbage. And it's as much as I want to talk about Tyreek, Achan, Waddle, like until we know how Snoop Huntley works with this offense, it's too risky for me personally.
Sure.
All right, last game of the slate. So Evan, we'll probably be wrapped up here in about 5 minutes. Seahawks, Lions, Detroit home favorites minus 185 on DraftKings. Seahawks upset plus 170 on ESPN bet. The spread is 3.5. The total is 46.5. Ryan, I know you got a lot to say, so lay it on me.
Yeah. Everyone thinks, I think the betting public going into this game thinks that this is going to be an easy win for Detroit. I think it's going to be more of a closer and higher scoring game. The Lions are 37 and 17 against the spread under Coach Dan Campbell, which is actually the best record against the spread since 2021. Um, but so far this year, Seattle has allowed the fourth fewest points at 14.3 and the second fewest yards, 746 through 3 weeks. Now, as I mentioned last night, those first three games were Denver, New England, and Miami without Tua. All
Yes.
right. uh, um, the Lions struggle also against slot receivers. So I think JSN's over at 47.5 this week is a good bet. He's also at 4.5 receptions. So if you're maybe worried about the line, go and bet the 5 receptions or more. 4.5 is juiced to minus 135. I also like DK's reception over at 4.5.
You should.
Um, yeah, DK's just been balling so far. Um, I do like David Montgomery touchdown. You could even do a Gibbs touchdown. That's pretty much a coin flip. It's evidenced by the lines. It's minus 115 and minus 110 respectively. Um, this I'm gonna have since this game is on Monday night. I'm gonna be lavishing in all my winnings from Sunday and making a lot of bets on this game Monday morning. Because this is going to be a really fun game to watch, I think, and hopefully it's super close. But as I said, the Lions have a very good record against the spread. Um, so if they can keep it close, I think the Lions win by a touchdown. Um, 6 or more points.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
what do you got? You got anything?
Yeah, I mean, there's some stuff I like, and usually I don't want to talk about stuff that I'm not going to bet because I value the listener's time and I value your time and my time. But when Monday comes around and we're, like you said, flush with cash after everything hits, I like DK a lot in this game. DK has over 100 yards in the last two games. The Lions are third in man coverage. They run man coverage on 43.5% of their snaps. And DK has run, he's getting 3.15 yards per route run against man coverage. And as you know, it only takes one reception for DK to break a tackle and take it 60 yards.
Hell yeah.
So I like DK a lot. I don't mind JSN. I have some So, like inside the 10 opportunities, which is targets plus carries, inside the 10, Monty has six, Gibbs has five, but opportunities inside the five, Monty and Gibbs both have three. So it is literally a toss up.
Okay.
But I don't mind like some of these parlays that we've kind of talked about here would be like a Marvin Harrison touchdown and you know, what is it? Like James Conner's rushing yards. I like
Yeah,
Jordan Mason anytime touchdown with Pop Douglas over receiving yards. And then I would like DK's receiving with a Monty touchdown or maybe a Gibbs touchdown, depending.
sure.
So, all right, those are our games. We've run through the whole slate. Let's talk DFS. And Evan, this will be our last segment. We're going to do DFS and then run through our best bets. So we should be out of here in five. Um, Ryan, DFS, who's your quarterback this week?
My quarterback CJ Stroud for DFS. He is not the most expensive, but he's in like the top, third or
Doesn't
quarter of
matter.
quarterbacks.
Let it ride.
Yeah,
Your running back play, or sorry, my quarterback play of the week is Andy Dalton at 5,300. Cheap, 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 cheap.
sure.
So Ryan, who's your running back then?
Honestly, it's gonna be Najee Harris against Indy. As I said, I might get a squeaky Indy win at the last minute. I think that game's going to be pretty back and forth, but I think they're going to rely on Najee as, like we said earlier, Indy gives up the second most running yards to opponents so far.
Yep. I am saying, well, I saved money on Andy Dalton. I'm going to be saving money across the board. So Saquon Barkley is my DFS running back. I'm not even fucking around this week. He's going to go for 120 and a touch. I've been pairing him with Aaron Jones everywhere. I've been pairing him with Zach Moss everywhere. I've been pairing him with James Conner, Brian Robinson. But the one thing most of my lineups have in common is I'm willing to pay up for Saquon this week.
Okay.
So who's your wide receiver play? Is it a stack? Are you
Let's
stacking with Nico?
Yeah, I'm probably gonna do that. Stack with Nico. Otherwise, I'm paying up at wide receiver this week because of Marvin Harrison's potential. But
Okay.
I'm gonna stack Stroud with Nico for sure.
Okay. To help offset my $8,000 on DraftKings Saquon Barkley, I'm going to go with the cheap 4,300 Alan Lazard.
Yeah, that's right.
Depot.
You're pretty
Depot.
you're pretty high on him this week.
It's just a blitz thing. It's a scheme thing, and it's a Aaron Rodgers dump off thing. Pat Sertan's working on the other side. I'm going with what the matchups and the scheme and the players tell me is happening.
Okay.
So, Ryan, uh, I have a feeling I know who your tight end's going to be. Why don't you share it with the class, guys? So I like Goddard a lot with no receivers in that game. What are you going to throw to fucking Johnny Wilson, Jahan Dotson? It's going to be
Right.
Goddard. And then Ryan, your defense this week.
You know what? They're mid-tier. I'm gonna go at 4,400. I'm gonna go with the Saints.
Okay, Saints. I am going to pay up at defense and try to win on peripherals and running backs this week. I'm going to go with the New York Jets as my defensive start of the week against Denver. I don't think Bo Nix has faced a defense as good as this yet, and I think that this could be a bloodbath.
Sure.
Um, so yeah, that's what we got. Ryan, why don't you tell the kind people your top five plays of the week, and then hit me with Waleed's too.
All right, so my top five bets this week are Aaron Jones over 58.5 rushing, Josh Allen's over 29.5 rushing, CJ Stroud's over 1.5 passing touchdowns. Brian Thomas Jr.'s over 3.5 receptions and a Marvin Harrison touchdown. Uh, Waleed's got Marvin Harrison's alternate over 80 yards. Nico's over 85.5 yards. Caleb's over 235.5. Chris Godwin's alternate over 70 yards, and Bijan's alternate over 80 rush yards.
Okay. My top five plays of the week are Saquon over 75 and a half rushing, Nico over 80 and a half receiving, James Conner over 66 and a half rushing, Rashi Rice over 75 and a half receiving, and Aaron Jones over 57 and a half rushing. Ryan, yours and Waleed's parlays, please.
Okay, so Wally's got a Bears parlay. He's got Caleb's alternate over 275, DJ Moore over 60, Odunze over 40, and Caleb's over 1.5 passing touchdowns. Those are all alternates, so he got really good odds for that. Plus 1143. He put 10 units down to win over 100 units. And then he did a Marvin Harrison parlay. His alternate over 110, his over 5.5 receptions and a touchdown. Plus 460, he put 10 units down to win 46 or 56.
I love it.
Uh, I my money line parlay this week is Cincinnati, Houston, Chicago, and Buffalo. That's plus 619 odds. I put 5 units down to win a little over 35. And then my same game parlay, I went Stroud over 1.5 passing touchdowns, Brian Thomas Jr. over 3.5 receptions, Nico over 5.5 receptions, and the Houston money line got me plus 392. I put 10 units down on that to win almost 50.
Okay.
Yeah.
My money line parlay is just a modest plus 121. Kansas City Jets Houston. So I hung 10 on it at plus 121 to bring me back 2206. My other parlay is a touchdown parlay. Kyron Williams, Zach Moss, Alan Lazard put 5 units down at plus 1140 to bring me back 5705. So Ryan, let us know about the two millionaire bets of the week.
All right. So Waleed's back to square one. So he's at a $10 bet. He did a crazy plus 900 odds for Caleb's alternate over 350 yards. I can't even believe they're alternating it that up that high, but they are. So he got plus 900 odds to win $100. And then my millionaire bet this week, if I get this, it'll be the fourth week in a row. At plus 270 odds, I went with CJ Stroud's 3 or more pass touchdowns. Uh, with the $66.50 I had won from the last 3 weeks, it'll put me a little under 250 to roll into next week.
Okay. And my millionaire bet is an Alan Lazard anytime touchdown. I won last week. Thank you, Chris Olave. I'm at $18.77. Plus 280. An Alan Lazard anytime touchdown would put me at $52.56. So that's where we're at, folks.
Hell
That's
yeah.
that's our show for the week, Evan. We're gonna get out of here in a moment. Want to give a thanks to Evan for producing, Ryan for being you. Thank you, buddy.
Hell
Um,
yeah.
Evan for super producing, Josh Chuboff for being a rugby guy, Waleed for being sick as hell, and that's what we got. So good luck. I hope all your plays hit. Tomorrow, I'm sitting in for Jeff because there's an early Niners game, so I'll be the backup Crisco. And 90 minutes before kickoff, we're going to do start and sit. So Evan coined
Okay.
it sitting or starting with Tony Martin, which I love. I think that's brilliant.
Hell yeah.
So I'll see you 90 minutes before game time for your last minute starts and sits. TH Fantasy Podcast, new episode dropped today, even though it was a nightmare getting it up online. Um, so download that on all your podcast streaming services. Football absurdity. We're here on YouTube. We're out here. We're really doing this damn thing. So good luck, everyone. I hope you win a bunch of money, and that's it.
Hell yeah.
So Evan, we're gonna get out of here.